Hello, hello, YouTubers. Truck Driving Mylon here. Today we're working on making maple syrup. Been collecting, you can see the water level, or sap level. 5-gallon jug. Tapping in to these very old maple trees. Been averaging close to 5 gallons every 24 hours. Today's March 9th. Today they're expecting it to go up into the 60s. And I was starting to run out of containers for collecting the sap. And here's the sap. Using that turkey fryer. Boil down the sap. Impurities float to the top. You skim them off with the skimmer. And the way I do it, when the water gets down to about a third of the pot, I'll add more sap and just keep adding until I have no more. I've got close to 20 gallons to boil down. I started collecting on Tuesday. Today's Sunday. Okay, correction on the date. Today's March 8th. Got ahead of myself by a day. The Ides of March comes to mind. This is the right day for that, not sure. As you can see, it doesn't actually boil. It evaporates. And when you get down to where most of it is evaporated, you have to pay close attention. Your syrup will be ready when it boils at 7 degrees above boiling water for your local area. And I'm about 630 feet above sea level, so my water boils at 212. So when the syrup will begin boiling at 217 is when the syrup will be ready. And I've been going about a half an hour, and it's gone down a couple inches. One word of caution, that steam is very, very hot. You want to protect your skin. You see the impurities. Kind of hard to see through the steam. Float to the surface. So far there really isn't much. This is pretty clean sap. But when you go to skim it off, you want to have gloves. Don't stick your face over the steam, because you can scald your skin. Here's the equipment I use to collect the sap. You drill a 5/16 hole. You want to drill on a kind of an upward angle, and then on this end you can tap with the hammer, tap it up into the tree. And that's also 5/16 I use. That's where you attach your collection hose down to your container. I use a 5/16 ID vinyl tubing. It has a 3/8 OD, and I use like Culligan style water jugs, and this one's for one of the water drinking stations. But I'll drill a 3/8 hole, a couple 3/8 inch holes, and run the hose through there. It helps keep the bugs and dirt out of your collection jug. Here's a helpful book. Picked that up at the Ace Hardware along with the taps. And here's a candy thermometer for when you near the end of your collection. You don't want to go past the 7 degrees above boiling, otherwise you'll caramelize it. And you want to make syrup, not caramel, unless that's what you want to do. Maple caramel candies. Okay, it's been a couple hours. Gone down about halfway. Oh, well, you can see that. The sun glaring. But we're getting a slow boil. See if I can block the sun. There we go. It's boiling below 212, which is the local boiling temperature. So as it draws down a little bit more, I'll add more sap, top it off, and repeat until I'm out of sap. I'm just a little more than 3 hours into it. Gone through 5 gallons. So far I added a couple more gallons into the pot, bring the level back up. As turkey fryer has a 15-minute timer. Every 15 minutes you'd have to press that red button. So I used a spring clamp to bypass the timer so it doesn't shut off every 15 minutes. And plan on going through a lot of propane. This is an all-day affair. And you can see a little bit of the impurities coming to the surface, and goes without saying, this is something you want to do outdoors. The steam is rather sticky. That's something you'd want to get all over the inside of your kitchen. Even with an industrial fan, it's going to coat your ductwork with sticky sap, steam. Okay, it's gone up from earlier this morning. I'm going to change this out. Let the hoses drain down. Transfer it to the new jug. Here was I was talking about drilling the holes in the cap. Keeps it nice and sealed off. We'll let that continue to collect, and we'll take this over to the pot for processing. Okay, you see the foam? Just take your skimmer, slowly let it gather on the skimmer, and this is out in the woods or something. I let it fling off to the side, but got a clean trash bag. Just empty it off into the garbage bag, that way I don't collect a bunch of ants and flies around the house. And the pot has gone down at least halfway. We'll just add sap until it's back up. This will take about 3 hours or more, to 3 to 4 hours to boil down. And you can see the color difference starting to get syrupy over just the sap. Yeah, we're about 10 hours into it. Getting close. 219 is our target. You can see it's got bubbles blocking the view now. Getting more of a golden color now. Getting real close to being done. Had to back the heat off a bit. Started foaming up quite a bit. Don't know how well you can see. Sitting about 215. Just a few degrees away from being finished. And here's the finished product. Let this cool down a little bit and then we'll bottle it. And you strain your syrup through cheesecloth. Slowly add it. Oh, look at that color. Beautiful. We'll let that drain down and see where it gets us. And here she is, all bottled up. And letting the cheesecloth drip down. It's got the taste of like maple candy. Very good syrup. I processed just a little over 12 gallons. I still have another 5 gallons in the garage. Still collecting off the tree. It was getting late. It's getting late with the time change. Lost an hour, so and I get up very early for work, so that was good enough for today. Next weekend we'll see how much more we get. Thanks for watching.